Hello everybody, I want to talk to you about a very spectacular Etruscan pyramid which has been destroyed in the distant past. It is not this. This is something which has popped up just in the last couple of years. People don't know what on earth it is. It seems to be, well, you can see what it is. No one knows what it is. People are calling it a pyramid. I want to talk about something quite different. We are going to talk about the tomb of Lars Porsena, and this seems to have been an Asian-style pyramid located in Etruria. This is Etruria. It was a naval empire in the old days. They controlled the Western Mediterranean while Phoenicia controlled the Eastern Mediterranean, a little known fact. They were the intermediaries between the Atlantic and Egypt. And of course down here were the Latins, Rome, and Rome was oppressed by the Etrurians for hundreds of years. Etruria later lost her naval empire, Carthage took control, and Etruria began to take over lands nearby. They oppressed the Latins. The whole of Italy was a land of refugees from different places. In fact, the Romans actually came from the west, some of them, from the east, and they landed here. On this side of Italy, apparently because the Greeks were all on the other side of Italy. Now, Rome was ruled by the Tarquins. They seem to have been an Etruscan royal family, but if you read the old Roman histories, they never admit they were ever under Etruscan control. But when the Romans threw out their king, Tarquin the Proud, he ran to his friends, the Etruscans. And of course the Etruscans were at war with Rome, trying to defend its so-called freedoms. They were probably a tributary, but they never admit this in their histories. And you can read about their histories if you read the works of Livy. This man here is Lars Porsena, an Etruscan king of this city here, Clusium. He was oppressing the Romans, besieging early Rome in 500 BC. Rome was just a proud city-state, and it was the time of the true noble Romans, which all died out by the time of the 2nd or 3rd centuries, and Rome started hiring mercenaries, retreating into their monasteries, and just being very scared of the barbarians. But in these early days, they were very powerful. This man here, Scaevola, was sent to assassinate Porsena. He killed this man instead by accident, his secretary. He was brought before Porsena, and instead of just being meek, he said who he was, he said what his mission was, and he said, "There's fire," and he threw his arm into the fire and held it there, and he said, "There are 300 more like me. I've failed this mission, but there are 300 more coming, and one of us is going to kill you." And Porsena said, "Oh my goodness, you don't need to do that. Take your arm away from there. You're free to go." He didn't want to have anything to do with this crazy man. He said, "You're free to go," and he made peace with the Romans after that. So the legend goes. An early picture of Porsena. Not early enough, but early. And what do we have here? Well, I'll explain what this is. Later Roman historians, including Marcus Varro, wrote, and I'm going to quote this, "Porsena was buried below the city of Clusium in a place where he had built a square monument of dressed stones." I'll take that right out of the way. These are pictures of Porsena's possible tomb. Each side was 300 feet in length and 50 in height, and beneath the base there was an inextricable labyrinth. Now there is a labyrinth beneath one of the pyramids in Egypt, the Djoser pyramid, so bear that in mind, into which if anybody entered without a clue of thread, he would never discover his way out. Above this square building there stand 5 pyramids, one at each corner and one in the center, 75 feet broad at the base and 150 feet high. These pyramids so taper in shape that upon the top of all of them together there is supported a brazen globe. And we see the globe in some of these, or one of these diagrams. And upon that again, a petasus, from which bells are suspended by chains. So this diagram is showing it, this one's showing it. These make a tinkling sound when blown about by the wind, as was done in bygone times at Dodona. Upon this globe there are 4 more pyramids, each 100 feet in height, and above them is a platform on which are 5 more pyramids. And you see, these artists, they're all trying to show how this would have worked, and they've all got it wrong. I think this artist comes closest because he's showing one platform and another platform above that, another platform above that. And this is how it would have been, something like this, but he hasn't got the structure right. These are just fanciful. The platforms directly on top of pyramids? No, this is too much, way too much. And the height, 44 meters high, you see? It's crazy, but altogether it would have been 200 meters high apparently. Now, Clusium was destroyed in 89 BC by Cornelius Sulla, and no trace of this pyramid has been found. And I'm quoting from Wikipedia here. Historians have generally regarded Varro's account as a gross exaggeration at best and downright fabrication at worst. Well, that's just because they don't know where to look. And it even says here, the 18th century historian Angelo Cortenovis proposed that the tomb of Lars Porsena was a machine for conducting lightning. Now, that's if it looks like this, but it didn't look like this, did it? It looked nothing. I'll show you what it looked like. Let's go through all these. It comes closest to that, I think. And I'm showing you what it would have looked like. It would have been something like this. Something totally like this. And if we bring those up again, you see it would have been Asian in appearance, and it would have had something like this, you see. Now this is the top of Borobudur in Indonesia. It's probably Asia's best pyramid, and it really is a true pyramid. And you see one level with pyramids, another level with pyramids, and then another level on top of that with pyramids. That kind of matches the description. Here you have a sort of sphere, and the description does talk about a sphere. So I think this was the layout of Porsena's tomb, which begs the question, why is it Asian in appearance, or Southeast Asian, Thailand as well? Here you have one level with something, one level here with pyramids, 4 pyramids, another level, and then another level above that with another pyramid, or pyramid type structure. This is Thailand. So it's level after level of pyramids, and that's sort of what the description talks about. And of course it talks about bells. Now, tinkling bells, yes, these do look like bells in this Asian pyramid. I don't think they tinkle. It's almost as if you could pick one up and tinkle it. They're actually pyramids because each one houses a Buddha, which is what stupas are for. All pyramids are really stupas, more or less. They all follow the same shape. This is a temple in Indonesia. The Plausin Temple. Indonesia has amazing things, underrated. And you see one level after another with pyramids. So, was something like this in Etruria? This is another one in Indonesia. This is at Prambanan. And it's got as if one level here with pyramids, another level, etc. Pyramids supporting a sphere, supporting a pyramid on top. Supporting a platform with a pyramid on top, and that is sort of what the description of Lars Porsena's tomb talks about this. I think this is the closest we have in existence, or that I've been able to find in the last few hours of looking, to Porsena's tomb. And of course this is in Indonesia. What is an Indonesian style tomb or pyramid doing all the way in Etruria? Bear in mind they were a naval empire in the old days. Perhaps for thousands of years, but all their history has been lost. The Romans always destroyed everything. And of course here is something similar as well. This is Stupa in Japan. A bit Stonehenge-like around here, if you look at this area here, this round area. This would relate to the Stonehenge trilithons. At the centre, Buddha, the god of the Stupa. And of course a sphere holding up a platform, holding up something else. It's very close to the description. What was in Etruria, what has been destroyed, 200 meters tall, a huge pyramid, was a kind of Asian stupa. It was not one of those fanciful diagrams. Another one, this is Wat Chedi Liam in Thailand, and this is quite close as well. One platform after another with 4 pyramids on each level. Supporting another platform with 4 pyramids, supporting another platform with 4 pyramids, supporting an ultimate pyramid. You see, this relates to the description, not those diagrams, which are quite fanciful. Thanks very much.